Hello and welcome to Continue or Drop, and on this episode I'm going to be talking about Girls Beyond the Wasteland, which is also known by like 4 other names for some reason. I wish anime companies would give their titles one name, one very easy to read name, and leave it at that. So with that all out of the way, why did I decide to watch this? Well, that's because it's a high school drama, which might seem like a bad thing, but I've actually grown quite fond of the genre. The little bits that I read about the plot seemed interesting as well, so it sounded like it was right up my alley. Bunta is a young man who has become well known in his neighbourhood since he works at a local ramen shop. He has mostly just been plodding along, unsure of what he wants to do with his future. That starts to change though when his classmate Kurita asks him to help her make a game. Bunta has been given the role of the writer, and he must now recruit his friends in order to fill out the other roles. One thing that I only found out after I started watching is that this is actually an adaptation of a visual novel. This, again, might seem like a bad thing, but I usually enjoy visual novel anime. However, I will admit that they do have some common issues. They often have a bland protagonist being followed around by the same bland heroines, while also going through the same bland problems that high schoolers normally go through. So, does this show deviate from that in any way? Nope. The story is barely there. It's basically just an excuse to bring all the characters together for wacky hijinks, or something like that. Other than getting the team together, there hasn't been any meaningful progress. And with the way things are going, I don't think there ever will be. There's no drama here, there's no tension or comedy. Well, at least not any good comedy. The plot has absolutely nothing that would get me invested. I was just sitting there the entire time, feeling bored. The cast wasn't that interesting either. Outside of being a supposedly great guy, Bunta is just this giant ball of genericness. And the rest of the characters were even less interesting. I didn't even bother learning most of their names. I just called them like red-haired girl. Here we have spiky-haired girl and brown-haired boy. You get the picture. So, yeah, there's nothing compelling here either. But I have yet to get to the worst part of the show. The dialogue. Since the characters are nothing special, you would also expect the dialogue to be nothing special. But it reaches a whole new level of dullness that I could have never seen coming. When Kurita was going on one of her rants about how Shoujo games are the future or some crap, I always ended up tuning out. Nothing ever gripped me. It was either boring exposition about game development or dumb jokes. Most of the conversations were so long and mundane that they seemed pointless. Moving on to the visuals. I honestly couldn't find much wrong with them. The art has that sleek look that you would expect from modern anime, and the animation is smooth and seamless. The one bit of criticism that I would give is that it's the exact same style that we've seen a million times before, with not a single unique element in there. But that isn't necessarily a bad thing. The status quo still looks pretty good. With the music, it's just kinda there. It was really generic, but I guess it did its job well enough. You know, anime isn't that easy to make, and I'm sure that a ton of effort went into this. The animators, character designers, writers, they all must have worked tirelessly to make this as appealing as possible. With all that work that the creators must have put in, I am astonished at how incredibly uninspired this turned out to be. Drop. This has to be the easiest drop I've ever handed out. Now, if you're actually enjoying this anime, I think that's fantastic. I am always glad to hear that people are finding joy where I couldn't. And man, I really couldn't find any joy here. So anyway, thank you very much to everybody who watched this video. If you have any feedback, feel free to leave a comment. And if you like this video and want to see more, feel free to subscribe as well. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.